how do you spot a good golfer?
I'm sorry?
How do you spot
talent?
a good... Yeah, yeah.
You know, in order for a kid to be a great golfer, I always say they need three things. You know, the first thing they need is talent, right? So physical talents are great. You know, if you're tall and if you're strong and if you're coordinated. You know, like if you can hold something and hit a ball, whether it's a bat, you can hit a ball, or whether it's a hockey stick or a tennis racket. If you have some decent hand-eye coordination, that's a talent. The second thing is you have to be able to listen and follow. You know, the rule 1 and 2 for my kids every time I go, rule 1 is listen, rule 2 is follow. So all you're doing is listening and following. So you have to be teachable. If you're not teachable, then you're not going to be able to grow. So listening and following is and being able to execute would be the second thing. And then the last thing is you have to have a huge love and desire for the game. I mean, whatever you're doing, you have to have a large love and desire to do that. You know, otherwise...
She works with GMA, it's one of the big networks.
With a very high love and desire to play the game. You know, you have to really want to wake up. You know, I always ask my kids... Yeah, a passion. If you have, you know, and I'm a Christian, so I believe, you know, in God and those kinds of things. So I always tell my kids, when you play, whatever you're doing, I don't care what it is, if you want to be really good at it, you need to have enthusiasm. Now, the word enthusiasm is a Greek word that actually means in God. So when you're doing something enthusiastically, that you're as close as you can to the higher being as you can, and you're going to do that to the best of your ability and be focused on just that, and you're going to do really well. And so if you have a high love and desire and you wake up and you think about it and you go to sleep and you think about it, you're going to do that really well. And so if you have those three aspects, that's what Tiger had. Tiger had all three of those. He had talent, he was listening, he was a very teachable kid, and he had a huge love and desire to go play the game. You know, I mean, that's all he thought about. So I think he's kind of lost that, you know, in the last few years. You know, I mean, there's a lot of distractions, and, you know, he's not a kid anymore. You know, they call it play golf, and I don't think he's really playing as much, you know. So even